Но что я могу сказать, Индонезия развивается очень быстрыми темпами, очень быстро. Он превращается в одну из крупнейших стран мира.
Luar biasa, Presiden Prabowo dan Indonesia kembali membuat heboh dan gempar dunia. Ya, saat ini dunia sedang terguncang oleh Pak Prabowo dan Indonesia karena baru saja Presiden Putin secara mengejutkan telah mengatakan kepada media global APT bahwa Indonesia akan menjadi negara raksasa.
Но что я могу сказать, Индонезия развивается очень быстрыми темпами, очень быстро. Он превращается в одну из крупнейших стран мира.
Tentu hal ini merupakan kebanggaan dan pencapaian besar bagi Pak Prabowo dan Indonesia saat ini karena yang berbicara bukanlah orang biasa namun merupakan salah satu orang terbesar saat ini di dunia, yaitu Putin langsung. Dan pernyataan Putin ini telah disampaikan oleh Putin kepada media global APT yang sebelumnya telah bertanya kepada Putin mengapa harus dekat dengan negara seperti Indonesia.
We see that President Probov, our president, has a special closeness with Russia. Before he was appointed, he already met with you, Mr. President Vladimir Vladimirovich. And we see this as a very important official occasion for our countries. And there's one more question. There's a question. What is Vladimir Vladimirovich's priority with regard to Indonesia at a time when our ties, interconnectedness, our relations with Russia are celebrating their 75th anniversary? And now we are already making investments. We have interaction in the tourism sector, in the military sphere, interaction in trade, because Indonesia is now trying to attract investments, especially from large countries where Indonesia has special programs in the nickel sector, nickel mining, and the production of products that will become a source that Indonesia will become. This is the very first thing. And secondly, we want to know now what contribution can Russia make in order to improve the situation related to the uncertainty in the world economy. And now and the situation related to the axis in China, the axis in the economy, I think that in the future in Asia there will also be a need to finally get some certainty in the economic sphere, and, of course, including Indonesia, which has a very large potential in terms of population and its workforce.
Dan jawaban dari Putin pun telah membuat malu dan terkejut, serta membuat kagum media global tersebut yang sebelumnya telah mengecilkan Indonesia dan Pak Prabowo.
You have absolutely correctly defined the relations with the president, the relations between Russia and Indonesia, and our relations with the president of Indonesia. Indeed, he considered it possible to come to Moscow for a visit even after the elections, well, before the inauguration. And we highly appreciated this. This is indeed a very good sign that Indonesia, under the current president, is committed to the comprehensive development of our relations. But what can I say? Indonesia is developing at a very fast pace, very fast. It is turning into one of the largest countries in the world. How much is the fund now? Almost 300 million. 290, there are 297 million people. Yes, how many do you have now? Indonesia.
Yes, of course, Indonesia is ready. Yes.
Yes, I asked how many people there are in Indonesia now. Almost 300 million, yes. 2,800.
$280 million people. 289 million people. You are.
280 million people. So, many European countries, even we in Russia, we are all like that, we are all considered great powers. But think about it.
Here's Indonesia, 280 million people and constantly growing. Rapidly. Do you understand what is happening? The world is changing radically, simply. And it is not only about the number of people. The thing is that all these countries and the economies of these countries, they are changing at a fairly rapid pace. The structure of the economy of these countries is changing, the aggregate GDP is growing, the growth rate of the economy is growing, the level of education of the population is increasing. And all these countries, of course, will fight to achieve, such a good level of income of the population. This will inevitably entail a whole range of measures that these countries will carry out in the sphere of their economy and science education. And they are moving to very serious, powerful positions in the world and in the global economy. This is exactly how we feel about Indonesia, especially since we have very good, decades old, very friendly, good, trusting relations with each other. And, of course, there are traditional areas of our cooperation, and we will support them, but we will certainly strive to diversify our ties. I think that the level of trade turnover today definitely does not correspond to our capabilities. And we will certainly, tomorrow we will have such a detailed conversation with the President of Indonesia. We will definitely talk with him about all the areas that we consider a priority. I do not want to get ahead of ourselves, because he has already arrived, and we will see him tomorrow morning. We will practically spend several hours together and we will talk about this in detail. But you mentioned some problems. Problems between the United States and the People's Republic of China in the area of tariffs, and trade, that means relations. Yes, the People's Republic of China has an excess, that means, in the area of trade turnover. And, probably, we need to strive to balance this. But I agree with our Chinese friends here. It is necessary to do this calmly during the negotiation process, and it is absolutely possible to achieve the desired result. I have no doubt that the United States, of course, will eventually come to this. And what the administration will do, the current administration, yes, the bar for the negotiation process is raised, but then it actually comes to the area of negotiations and the search for mutually acceptable solutions. I think that this will be the case in other areas as well. But the chairman of the PRC, he once proposed the well-known strategy of one train, one track. It is connected with creating conditions for interaction with all neighboring countries and not even with close neighbors, but neighbors, so to speak, in approaches, so to speak, to the development of trade and economic relations. And it turns out, you understand, it really works out. And Indonesia is starting to work within the BRICS framework. It is starting to work quite confidently, so to speak. We will do everything we can to ensure that Indonesia joins the BRICS force and receives the necessary dividends from this joint work. It would feel that, the BRICS family and the rules that are set out in BRICS have a beneficial effect on the development of your country's economy. And the countries nearby, including Russia, are of course interested in building up relations with Indonesia in the areas that are a priority for you. And this again, and first of all, this is, high technologies. We have something to offer our partners from Indonesia. And I am sure that the Indonesians will also be able to offer us their interesting ideas. Tomorrow, the President and I will talk about all this in detail.
Iya, jadi ini info update untuk tanah air. Bagaimana pendapatnya menurut teman-teman? Oke, jadi itu adalah info update untuk tanah air. Oke, masih banyak menonton. Jangan lupa untuk bantu di like dan di share video ini. Jangan lupa juga bantu untuk subscribe ya. Oke, stay tune at my channel. See you next video.